We are back live. Folks, if you missed any of the program, such an important, informative program, Alex Jones reporting live from Hardin, Montana. I am Jason Burmis sitting in. He's going to be joining us in the last 20 minutes of the program. We had Peter Dale Scott in studio, a discussion with Bob Chapman. If you missed any of it, you can get the podcast after the program, or the rebroadcast begins at infowars.com as soon as the regular show ends. We're going to continue with the phone calls, and we were talking to Mona in Montana, who drove 6 hours with a partner of hers. They tried to go into the city council meeting. They tried to get documents. At first, they said, no, you can't have these documents. He pulled out his state constitution. You were able to get these documents. What did they entail?
Well, the documents that we did get are the minutes of the previous meeting from September 15th regarding the economic development section that includes Two Rivers Authority and APF. This is a laundry list. Actually, it's more like a Christmas wish list that they're going to actually give to the city. You should see what's on this in these
Mona,
these minutes.
We need to see what's on these things. Do you have access to a scanner or a fax machine?
I do.
Well, can we give out the fax? Can we hold her over, John, and give her the fax information, and we will have we'll have you fax that out and email the information, because it is so vital we see what was actually discussed at these meetings and put on paper. Just go over a few things for us right now.
Okay, let me just give you a couple highlights here. What I think is important to mention here, it says that, let's see, with that said, the Two Rivers Authority and the contract was signed by officials representing Two Rivers Authority and the American Police Force. He explained to the crowd that the APF, now he being Al Peterson, who's the vice president of TRA, consists of retired and ex-police/military personnel, including ex-SEALs, Rangers, etc., who have been trained and have experience in everything from airline/cruise ship security to hostage negotiations. The APF chose Hardin because they are impressed with the community. They have been in Hardin for the last 9 months, and the community has welcomed them and treated them well. Okay, in the contract signed, it says the APF will only house low to medium security inmates, and only the chief of police, the United States government, Montana Department of Corrections, and the state, local, county, and federal jurisdictions will be allowed to place only properly classified inmates in the facility. The city will be able to house between 30 to 60 inmates at their detention center. The APF will also permit the city to use the courtroom and office space for city court at no cost. The APF are required to maintain all appropriate certifications and insurances necessary, and they'll take care of all of that. Al stated that the only money APF would be making will be from inmate phone calls and stuff like that.
Oh, please.
They will be paying TRA $5 per inmate per day, as well as all taxes, etc. APF will pay any deficiency to trust starting February 1st, 2010, regardless of whether they have inmates or not. They will pay the money to TRA, then TRA will make the payments. The contract also mentions that the APF want to build a $16 to $17 million law enforcement center at their cost. Al stated that the center would contain a state-of-the-art forensics lab, a training center, a 248-bed dormitory, and much more. The facility would be built on the same property right behind the detention center, and there is property there. We saw it. The contract also states that APF will shop in the community first for the things they need before heading out of town. APF wants to help them become a part of this community, and they're willing to send a police officer with food to the houses of people who are not able to get out and about. How nice. They are also willing...
Mona, hold back.
Yeah.
Get a pen. I'm going to give you the fax number right now. You tell me when you're ready.
Ready.
Okay, it is 866-894-1767. Do you have that?
Got it.
All right, Mona, I'm going to let you go. Please, please fax that right over, and we'll be doing Prison Planet and InfoWar stories ASAP. We're going to get that to Kurt Nemo and Paul Watson. Thank you so much for the call. Let's go to our next caller. Let's go to Ryan in Canada. Ryan, you're on the line.
Hey, Jason, how you doing?
All right.
Awesome. I'm glad to be with you. I just found some information about 2 weeks ago. I thought it might be interesting to call and let you know. The RCMP in Canada have actually been... This is coming from someone who's a member of the clergy. The police in Canada have been preparing for a pandemic, and apparently they've known about it for a very long time. They've been going through training. They've had conferences in Ottawa all about the pandemic and how they're going to handle it. mean, it's a bit weird, don't you think, that they're planning everything?
Well, they've talked about using schools. I mean, not even talked about. They've said they're going to use schools as mass vaccination centers, but they're not going to stop there. They figure that community centers and churches are another way to get mass gatherings of people in to take these vaccinations. So it doesn't really shock me that they would use the clergy, as we know about the clergy response teams for a couple of years now, that will be working with departments like the Department of Homeland Security here in this country. So it really isn't a shock to me. Are they saying that they may use this as a mass vaccination center somewhere where they may offer the vaccine?
I haven't really gotten a whole lot of information on it, but I am still trying to talk to the minister that was involved in this. And
well, you got to
exactly
be careful because a lot of these ministers and a lot of these priests and a lot of these clergymen are now on government payrolls, and they're there to tell you to love the government, do whatever they say. They're here to help when we know it is the exact opposite. Keep doing your research and let me know as it develops. Thank you so much, Ryan. Let's jump to Stuart in New York. Stuart, you're on the line.
Pleased to talk with you, Jason. I'm just wondering, and considering how vicious the Pittsburgh police attacked so many innocent people, and in regards to what's going on in Montana with non-citizens, I'm just wondering, they're wearing these Darth Vader suits, not for their own personal protection physically, but more to disguise their identities. I'm just wondering, how many of these so-called police were really American citizens?
Well, I would say the majority of them were, in actuality, American citizens. I didn't see a lot of foreigners out there, but I did see a lot of blurring of the lines, whether or not they were National Guard or not. Let me give you an example. The first riot police I saw were wearing regular riot police tops and uniforms, but they were wearing military fatigues on the bottom. When I went to the big concert out there for Al Gore and global warming, and they took it a step further. They were in full military garb, in riot suits, with the backwards American flag in a green patch, and they had no police identification whatsoever. And then that really prepped me for the next day when I outwardly saw just military. I mean, they were in full military garb, admittedly National Guard. I did see a lot of foreign security forces. In other words, people in suits acting as Secret Service type agents in the hotels and downtown area. But, this time they were able to use American citizens, and a lot of these National Guardsmen said, I'll defend your right to free speech every day, while they're in riot gear on the streets, shooting tear gas at people. And with that said, we're going to go to that video of the young people at the college, if we can bring that up, Jaron and Hooge, of the incident at Pittsburgh on Friday night when these kids are on a balcony, when the cops start shooting off rubber bullets, they start shooting off the tear gas canisters, and they actually go into the building and up the stairs onto this balcony and corner all these kids that are now being tear gassed. So let's go to that video, then we're going to continue with your calls, Michael, Scott, Dan, Scott, and Gary, right after this. So let's hit that clip right now.
What America looks like.
And I mean, you're really looking at something like out of a science fiction movie. All these protesters are mostly college students. There are no anarchists amongst them, not one anarchist. And there you see the flashes. There you see the tear gas canisters. You hear the rubber bullets going off right now. You're watching it on prisonplanet.tv. One of the protesters throws one back at them, but it's a moot point. They're all wearing gas masks. Here's where it gets really, really scary. The kids that are on the balcony, they think they're safe. They're not. Tear gas to come up the stairwells. Yes, they're inside.
Are we trapped here?
And here they are being tear gassed as the riot police pass them up the stairwell and corner them. It's just unbelievable. We're going to pull the clip because there is some obscenities that come up later on that we have not edited out, but the full clip is available at infowars.com and prisonplanet.tv. And a young girl, I don't know whether or not She gets pulled, she gets hit by a rubber bullet, but she gets hit by something and her neck begins to bleed up by her ear. This is just unbelievable. This is, again, folks, the new America, the new tyranny. Jackboot thugs ruling over us, stopping us from assembling peaceably. The founding fathers would be rolling over in their graves. They wouldn't, you know what? They wouldn't be rolling over in their graves. They would be getting their muskets and saying, that's enough. We've had it. These people stood up for taxation without representation because they were being taxed too much by the king. Do you think we're being taxed too much when they start to say, yeah, you know, a carbon tax is a good idea?